Okay, so I labeled it part 2 and did it as a separate. So hopefully we're live again.
So now do we each... Okay, it looks like we're live now.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Sorry, that's it. I'm just moving to make sure I'm not frozen. Okay.
All right. So hopefully Simon and James, whoever's in viewing this, can still see us. So we're working out the
Not
kinks.
Simon. I hope not Simon.
Yeah.
So I still have some stills. So basically, he has 10 robbery attempts, and I love that he does there's a plague and everyone needs to take medication that knocks people out, and he gets tricked into taking it himself. But he, like, immediately when he puts it to his mouth, he passes out. I think that's great. And
I like the like climb to the ceiling, climb to the roof of the building, and then rappel down, and then be met by the locked door that you could have seen on the ground floor. I don't know. For some reason, that really got me.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got a plan to get through the roof, and then he just gets down to where the locked door is, and then he's like, "Oh, all right, I guess I'm done."
But yeah, my favorite, I think, is it the third one where they take a number, or is that the second one? Just because she's just so polite, and then he's like shy, so he doesn't want to intrude, so he does take a number and waits to wait in line to rob the mask.
Behind the old lady who's next.
And then and the other so if anyone in the comment could still see us, I would love to know.
It's funny because it shows on our end, it shows the exact same, like nothing changed between live streams. The same chat shows up, like it never, like nothing ever happened.
Yeah, I'm watching it now on my YouTube, on my Apple TV, and we are live now.
Okay,
on a different stream.
So then, I love that. Thank you, Simon. I love that. So I'm a big fan of Take the Money and Run, the Woody Allen movie. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that.
Never have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But to me, this section is like the Japanese Take the Money and Run, because basically Take the Money and Run is Woody Allen plays a aspiring bank robber, but he sucks.
Shitty bank robber.
Yeah. So there's a lot of like these like failed bank robbery attempts and just general robbery attempts. So
what year did that movie come out?
It's his first feature film. So I want to say it's like 1968 or something. Or
so that easily could have been an influence on this scene.
It's possible.
Yeah.
I definitely get Take the Money and Run vibes from all of those scenes.
I say that as someone who hasn't seen the movie. I'm not like super familiar with Woody Allen stuff. I've always felt like a low cultured asshole because of that, but I just haven't.
I went through a Woody Allen phase like ages ago because I just felt it was a required, because I was new, living in New York and doing comedy and all of that.
See, for me, it's mostly like I know Woody Allen through other people, like watching Seinfeld and stuff like that. You know, like I know the name, I just haven't seen his actual movies. Like,
his output has been rough the past 25 years. Like he comes out with a movie every year.
That often still?
Yeah, but they mostly haven't been very good since the 90s. Since the 90s.
Wow. Well, good for him for still being consistent, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mostly only know like the really early stuff, like his Like What's Up, Tiger Lily? I think it's probably my favorite.
Manhattan
probably is not a popular opinion.
Yeah.
Annie Hall, I don't give a fuck.
Annie Hall, another one, yeah.
All right, so then he has Asao has another revelation in that he pictures that actors have all the sex. So he decides he wants to become an actor, and then this leads to a series of movie parodies. There's a the Lone Wolf and Cub. So they do like a ventriloquist dummy version of Lone Wolf and Cub, which was a manga and then a series of 6 movies and also a television show. And it's probably my favorite samurai movie series of all time. Okay. And this is a parody of that. And then he wins the audition by doing the silly dance.
Pubic hair. Yeah.
And then I think it's another parody of Zatoichi.
Yeah,
and I think
that's the one I recognize. Yeah,
it's supposed to be directed by Kurosawa, and then funnily enough, the Takeshi Kitano later starred and directed in the Zatoichi remake.
Yeah.
So in this movie, he does the Zatoichi parody. So basically, Asao is an extra in the movie, and then the lead actor dies, so he gets promoted to the lead, and lies and said he's graduated UCLA as a drama major. And he gets direction from Fair Enough, like why are your eyes open when you're blind? And he gets fired off the movie for setting himself on fire. So rookie mistake.
Yeah, that's what I'd say.
Yeah, anyway.
So then he does another career pivot. He decides to become a treasure hunter. And then gets blown up in a cave. And then and I had a clip. There's a lot of great scenes where he sees a Cessna flying over.
Mm-hmm.
And then he buys a ticket for the Cessna. I guess it's like the budget. It's called like Living Hell Airlines or something.
Yeah.
I forget.
Yeah, this part was good. Yeah.
And then so the pilot is an alcoholic that wants to unalive himself. This is the budget version. So this is not the best of the best they're putting in the pilot seat.
No.
And this is another movie reference in that the guy he's with is a Yakuza hitman named Joe Shishido, who was an actor that played a bunch of Yakuza hitmen, most famously in Branded to Kill. And there's some other movies.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, so that makes it make more right. Okay.
Making fun of Joe Shishido.
Yeah. So your famous like cultural reference, right? Your Arnold Schwarzenegger, maybe not quite that, but
Well, yeah. And then also too in that when he was in that plane, there was the guy taking his clothes off. So
yeah, that guy.
you can't win there. Yeah. And then there was the guy in front of him who was just being a rude passenger. It's like,
yeah, that's the Joe Shishido is the guy being rude to him. And then because the pilot was like, oh yeah, we have special service. But he's the pilot is the one that takes his clothes off and dances around. Not some lady.
And then pretends to jump out. Yeah.
I love that he was correct in that if you go up in a plane, they take their clothes off to entertain you, but it's not what he expected.
And it's also like, way longer than you expect. It's like how long is that scene?
Way longer than it needed to be.
3 to 5 minutes long, but it's still pretty great. It's still pretty great though.
So there's one parachute left, so he kills Joe Shishido to get the parachute. And then decides to take Joe Shishido's clothes. And so then people think he's a Yakuza hitman now, and now that's his new job, is to be a hitman for the Yakuza.
Of course.
So the one sort of fault to me, like with the movie, is like now that he's Yakuza, he's sort of not as worried about getting laid. It's not sort of like a side quest kind of thing.
Right. Yeah.
He's got a new meaning in life, you know?
Yeah.
I agree that like in the context of the movie, it doesn't make a lot of sense, and this is probably is very not PC, but the Yakuza boss who likes dressing up like a little girl and giggling, I don't know. I found that very, very funny. So this was probably my favorite part of the movie.
It's not a very PC movie. That's for sure.
No, not really.
Not at all.
And I had another clip, but I won't play it. So he's new to the murdering other gangsters thing. So what he comes up with is the bomb inside a birthday cake gag. And he just finds a random guy and says, "Hey, can you give this birthday cake to this rival crime boss? Because I'm shy." And then
big fan.
The problem is the guy agrees, but he steals the birthday cake to bring it to his son, and they all blow up together.
They're so happy because they haven't had any. He's been unemployed.
It's like they're like the equivalent of a Charles Dickens family.
Yeah,
finally, they have happiness.
Oh, thank you, sir.
So then one day, as his new job as a Yakuza hitman, he comes across a women's bathhouse. And if I were invisible, I could peep. And I think this is interesting because now he's lowered his expectations in life.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I thought that too. Like, he's gone from I want to have sex with women to if I could just see him naked, that'd be okay.
Yeah.
An HJ'd be good enough.
And as luck would have it, several men working on an invisible man machine happen upon him, and they offer him an opportunity to be a guinea pig for their invisible man pod. So he obviously agrees, and it works, and he's invisible, and he gets to peep. So he's partially successful, and it takes a while, but he does achieve some measure of success. And then there's a Ghostbusters parody where
it was pretty subtle.
Yeah,
the suits and everything.
Yeah,
and the music.
So they view so they have these viewers that look like proton packs, and so they find them in the bathhouse, and then it turns into a parody of David Cronenberg's The Fly.
Oh yeah, it sure does.
And which then turns into a parody of a kaiju movie. He's a giant fly monster, and then
how do you become giant? I missed that.
I don't know.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I didn't miss anything. It just happened. Okay.
Bro, that's what I assumed.
Okay, so because I don't have an attention span and I'm really bad at following storylines, I didn't even know that these were all references. But by this point in the movie, I'm like, what's going on here? I'm lost.
That's fair.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty
more than fair.
like after the all the car stuff and the bank robbery stuff, it's like a bunch of movie parodies, really, because there's even like there's a Michael Jackson Thriller reference.
Yeah, that's right, Thriller.
Oh yeah.
And there's probably some I don't, I didn't even recognize, but other than like Branded to Kill, Zatoichi, The Fly, Ghostbusters. How long is this film?
It's like under 2 hours.
It's like an hour 45, but there's a lot of stuff that happens.
Longer than I thought it would be, yeah. But not in a bad way. But I just, when I saw the length of the film, I was like, okay, I'm longer than I expected. But yeah,
I think there are shorter versions of this movie. I'm not really sure. This might be the longest version. This is the Chinese DVD.
True.
That I have. So
yeah, that we watched. Yeah, I noticed that there's a Blu-ray of this you can get. I was thinking about grabbing.
I saw that there was a French Blu-ray.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, but I'd be curious to look up like the terms of the different links.
Yeah, because it might not be the same version. It could be completely a completely different cut. Who knows?
I only buy American products.
Yeah, especially clothing. Especially clothing and necessities. We'll be all right, Scott. Don't worry. And so, all four of us.
So they end up killing him, and he's with a giant fly swatter attached to a tank. And then he says something to the effect of, "I just wanted to have sex in a car."
Right.
Like his dying words, which I love.
Right back to the
really is like beginning. Yeah, it really boils it back down to, man, this guy just wanted to touch a booby in a car.
He didn't want any of that. No. Literally any of that. None of that should have happened. That was all unnecessary.
That's like the King Kong pathos moment. Like the monster has feeling.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I was very happy that you recommended this and sent us a link to watch it, because it was a very fun movie that, I mean, I've heard of the guy who was behind it, but I'd never heard of the movie. So I was very happy to watch it. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, if you're a fan of sketch comedy, I mean, this is like for you, Like you should just, if you break this down like scene by scene, you should just eat this up,
Yeah, like especially with comedy, sometimes I feel like it doesn't translate, but
yeah,
when a guy gets in a convertible and he pulls off and the whole fucking back half of the car falls off, it's like, okay, you don't need translations for that. That's funny.
Yeah. Yeah. You might miss some references, but that's okay. That's what's brilliant.
I definitely felt like I missed like some cultural references throughout, but I enjoyed watching it for sure.
Yeah, I missed too.
Scott, failed car sex is the universal language. It's not
yeah.
It doesn't matter. Sir, I've never failed in a car ever.
It doesn't matter if you have a car that the doors stay on or it doesn't have doors at all. You should be able to get laid. That's what matters.
That's right.
I really connected with the part in the beginning when he was in his bedroom with the porn hanging up all over the walls. I've always admired that commitment to porn. Where
at 35 years old, by the way. Too.
Yeah, where you have porn all over your walls. I really want to decorate my place in that fashion.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you could do it.
I've always loved porn, but I can say, and I would admit it if I had done it, I've never decorated my room with hardcore pornography.
No. That takes
like there was always that wall in my mind. Is like, no, you don't do
that.
I want the full Hustler centerfolds, all over the place, lips spread open and everything.
I want the scratch and sniff poster on my wall for me to sniff at my leisure. Yes.
Yeah, and not just in your bedroom, but in your living room. Where,
I mean,
guests
bathroom, wherever.
Yeah. Because you shouldn't be ashamed of this. This should just be your thing. Yeah.
I will say that Grandpa is probably half blind, so he doesn't even see it. So maybe.
Right. Oh, or that's right. Did Grandpa die? We never see him again.
I assume he died.
He just got Grandpa to agree to donate his vital organs, and we never see him again.
Without those organs, I assume he died for sure.
He's in trouble either way.
I assume he died like the next day or that day. Even he didn't last. He didn't last to the end of the movie.
I mean, no, I know that's not the central plot point, but that is something that really caught my eye. I was like, wait, is he dead?
They never brought. You never saw him again. Poppy, yeah.
All for car sex.
All literally all for car.
But I do I'm definitely not a historian of Japanese or Hong Kong cinema, but I was a big deal. I was big into Hong Kong for like the action stuff, like in the 90s, but kind of as the time wore on, I was really into more of the Japanese stuff, or more of the kind of nihilistic, just fucking
the gross stuff. Yeah,
gross. Humanity's disgusting.
Yeah, absolutely nihilistic. Like French and Japanese, it was just
French,
like
French for sure. Yeah,
pure hatred for humanity. if you were into mayhem and French and Japanese cinema, you hated everybody and yourself, really.
Like early 90s, I was John Woo, The Killer, Hard Boiled. But into the 90s, it was like more of the Japanese stuff, like Audition, Miike stuff primarily, and then moving into the French with Martyrs.
Yeah,
that's kind of where I was at.
A little French-Japanese handshake. We see it the same way, just a little differently.
All right, I think I'm going to wrap this up. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the movie. I'm glad I rewatched it.
Thanks for recommending it.
Because this is a true obscurity.
Yeah,
this is one that
underrated for sure.
The only people I've ever heard of sing it are people that I made watch it.
You made it 3.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of work went into this. It's pretty brilliant in spots.
Mm-hmm.
Those sketch scenes are just comedy brilliance.
Yeah, I have a difficult time picking up on nuance, and especially like the cultural references that were lost to me. It was I enjoyed watching it, but I really had no idea of what was going on. I also wasn't really reading the subtitles, right? I stuck with the subtitles for like probably the first 20 minutes, and then after that I'm just watching what's happening on screen.
Yeah. It's hard not to.
Yeah, because it moves so quick from one thing to the next.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend I knew everything that was happening. Not at all. Yeah,
I had to watch it a couple times, so that's why I was sort of able to explain it. If I had just seen it once, I don't think I would have been able to explain it like I did.
So. It also just, I think, depends on your experience with the culture too. Everyone's going to have a different take on this movie. Some people are maybe going to understand 100% of it. Some of us 90, some of us 80, some of us maybe even 40. But I think you can enjoy this movie even if you just like good sketch comedy, really.
Yeah, I think so too. I knew I missed a bunch, but I still liked it. Wasn't the head of the Earth Defense Force or whatever for the
defense,
the monster flyman, wasn't like an Ultraman, someone in Ultraman or involved in Ultraman?
I think I
read that on Wikipedia. I don't know.
Yeah, because it looked like Ultraman, like the costumes.
There was definitely an Ultraman connection. Yeah, I read about that too, but I don't know enough.
Right. No, I thought it was really fun, and that was nothing I would ever have sought out by myself. So thanks for recommending it. That was fun.
probably it would have never even crossed our path.
Yeah.
We would have never had the opportunity. Yeah.
It would have been like, Takeshi Kitano looking at stuff is like, oh, this movie, getting any, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
IMDb scrolling through.
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah.
a lot of these reviews out there, they're like, because they're just used to here's classier, serious movies, so they're not really like at least English speaking people, not really a good audience for this. So they watch it like, this is just some stupid comedy. I don't like stupid comedies.
Yeah, that's a good point. You would never.
I read though that he's like, this is one of the movies he's most proud of. So that's something to think about.
Yeah, he did say that. But was he kidding? He's a comedian.
It's true.
Like I said, I read like a lot of interviews with him and stuff, and he's definitely a guy where it's like he doesn't take himself super serious, and it's hard to tell when he's serious and when he's not, or when he seems like one of those guys where it's like there's a lot going on that you just will probably never know behind what's going on in his mind.
And even though it was a brief involvement in wrestling, I mean, now you got to throw everything into context. Like, is he working us? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Even though he wasn't there, I really want to put him in the context of he caused a riot in Sumo Hall in 1987. I really want that to be true, even though he wasn't there.
That's power.
Have you seen that? Have you seen that video, Tom?
No, I just heard of it.
Okay. Yeah, like when I finally watched the video, they don't show like the whole aftermath of them throwing the flaming cushions into the ring or anything, but it's very, as everything in wrestling, it's very like, okay, it's very contextual. What you heard is not really what happened. So this is fucking boring. If you want to cut this off, it's okay. It was supposed to be Antonio Inoki versus Riki Choshu. And this was the big anticipated match in Japan. And the semi-main event was a tag team match with Vader in it. And Vader was this big American monster that Kitano was bringing in. Kitano did not appear, but he did like promos ahead of time saying he was bringing this guy in to destroy Inoki. So before the tag team match, Vader said he didn't want to be in this match. He wanted to challenge Inoki for the title. And then this whole video is like in Japanese, so it's hard to figure out. But it seems like Inoki comes out and says, "Fuck you. If you don't want to be in this match, get out of here." So they throw him out, and then they put Choshu, who was the challenger, in the tag team match in Vader's place. The guy who was supposed to fight Inoki. So then they have this tag team match, and then Choshu says, "I want to fight Inoki anyway," and then Inoki comes out, and then Choshu leaves, and then Choshu comes back out, and Inoki leaves. It's fucking nonsense, right? It's like WWE bullshit. And then they finally have the match they're supposed to have that was the main event that sold out Sumo Hall, and it's nonsense. It's 5 minutes of stalling, and then Inoki hits a enziguri, and then hits Choshu into the turnbuckle and bloodies him up, and then it's a disqualification. So this is the main event everyone wanted to see, and it's bullshit. It's done. Then Inoki calls Vader back out, and Vader comes out and squashes him. And so basically, it's a three-way tidal wave of events that everyone fucking hated, and then everyone got mad and started throwing shit into the ring, and then so this is the Vader causes a riot thing when it was like.
The wrestling connection is cool.
Them fucking the fans like 4 ways, and then everyone being mad, and I did actually watch the entire thing this week, and I was like, I was kind of disappointed because the legend was way bigger than what it was.
Yeah, because I heard like they burned down Sumo Hall,
Yeah, they didn't quite. And there's no footage of them doing all this. And when the footage cuts off, you see like I want to say 5 people throwing like cups or beer cans into the ring, and that's it. And then it cuts off. And there are pictures later of the ring like littered with garbage, but there's no footage of it. So
Okay.
I want to come on here with a barn burner of Kitano got New Japan banned from Sumo Hall, and then was like, oh, there's no footage of it. So, and he wasn't even there.
It happened though.
I still want to see this footage now.
I mean, it's fun to watch, but and also I thought it would be fun. I love Vader, and I was like, oh, seeing Vader squash Inoki, that'd be fucking awesome. It's not. It's kind of boring.
I've seen.
He kind of does back clubs and then like does a body slam and pins him. Like he's like 1 year into his career, he doesn't know what to do. So
that's the one.
He's just a fat American dude. He's not very good right yet. So
that's the one clip I did see was him squashing Inoki, but not anything with the rest of it.
Yeah.
I don't remember where I saw that, but
so sorry. That was my like barn burner for this episode. Like, did you know that he started the Sumo Hall riot? And then it was like, oh no.
It all comes together.
It connects. Yeah.
Anyways, I wanted to pick another movie. This is a very wacky and weird women in prison movie. Do you guys like women in prison movies?
Let's go.
I've seen a few.
This is called Vendetta.
I don't have that one.
It's this one. Have you guys ever seen this? 1986.
No.
So this is a stunt woman. Her sister goes to prison unfairly, and then is killed or murdered. And then so the stunt woman commits crimes to be sent to that same prison to investigate. And interestingly, it's a for-profit prison. So it's I think it's maybe set in the future.
Okay.
It's
the nasty future of for-profit prison.
But it's in the 80s. It's kind of this I rewatched it recently a couple of weeks ago, and it's kind of this weird thing, and I want to rewatch it and think about it. Did Michael Parks have a small role?
Michael Parks, that'd be sweet.
But it's a Roger Corman production. There were a couple of people in small roles. Let me look.
Listen, I'm a pervert, so I was looking for like the girls who are going to show the tits because I thought I would probably know them.
Yeah,
that type of women in prison movie,
right? Roger Corman. I figured there'd be some familiar names.
There might be
familiar boobs, I would say. I don't know about the names. No, what was I'm thinking of something else. There's not really anybody. Marshall Teague is like, I think, the most famous person in it. Is a character actor. There's not really any. The most famous. It's just that it's a Roger Corman production, but it's kind of a really weird women in prison movie.
Cool.
I'm definitely interested.
And there's a wrestling tie-in. There's actually a wrestling theme song in the movie.
Oh shit.
So Scott, I want you to view this. I'll send a copy tomorrow.
Okay.
And then try to figure out what the tie-in music wise.
Okay.
See if you know this one. But yeah, that's it. Thank you, Simon, James, anyone else watching. Thank you guys. I think I got a better idea of the format, so I'll just stick to stills.
Yeah, like you said,
avoid video altogether.
I guess so. Shit. How do you know? It's such a confusing thing.
But also, because I edited.
Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, because I edited a bunch of the clips, and I figured, yeah, since you, I mean, you couldn't even get this, but maybe you can now. Maybe it was reissued. I wasn't aware of it.
Does StreamYard have a policy about that, or?
Well, I'm using Restream.
Yeah, I know. I wondered if
oh yeah,
it was different.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, the takedown was most likely taken down by YouTube.
YouTube
for copyright violation.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
You should go to Rumble, guys. I was telling you.
You were. That's true. That is true.
But I gave up. Okay.
I can make it work.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thanks, Tom. This was fun.
Thank you, everybody. So I'll be back next week. Vendetta, 1986. There's a lot of movies called Vendetta, but this is the this is the weird women in prison movie.
Like weird.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, guys.